In today's video, we're going to see what 25-year-old gearbox oil looks like. I'm Stephen from AutoNight. Welcome to another video on the Z3. Now, if you saw my earlier video where I changed the differential oil, you'll note that although it wasn't actually that dirty, the level was quite low. It's a bit of a mystery as to where it went. But I guess after 25 years, even the odd drip here and there in a chamber that only holds a small amount of oil could cause that level to drop. So now I'm turning my attention to the manual transmission oil, and I'm going to be changing that. So again, it'll be interesting to see what we're dealing with here, how much of it's left, and what it looks like really. I checked the data sticker on the transmission to understand exactly what fluid it needed. And it stated MTF LT1. Now there's much debate over what fluid should be used in these gearboxes. Some people just put ATF in them. Others stick to the specific BMW fluid, which is astonishingly expensive. I've kind of done a lot of research on it. The MTF LT1 has now apparently been replaced with the LT2. And I've actually looked up what fluid this vehicle should have with BMW, and it's saying the LT2. So now we know what it should have, I can go about finding a suitable fluid. You'll know from my other videos that I'm a bit of a stickler for keeping things original where possible. And this helped me in making my decision. And I've gone for this, a Mannol product. It's 75W80 and it's GL4. That's important. And if we take a look here, and I'm hoping that this will focus, you can see that this is suitable for MTF LT1, 2, 3 and 4. Quite an important consideration is making sure the vehicle's level, because I'm going to be dealing with an oil level plug, and it depends upon this. And I know my garage is totally level, but this driveway has a very slight slope on it towards the back of the car. Using a spirit level on the sill, you can see. In my quest to get things right, I do often overthink things, but just putting the rear wheels on these pieces of wood is enough to make up for the difference. I've raised the vehicle, supported it front and rear with axle stands, and chocked the opposing rear wheel. Handbrake on and in gear. So here we are underside of the gearbox. You've got the drain there on the left, and you've got the filler on the right on the side of the gearbox. And then you've got the yellow data sticker there as well. As everyone always says in these kind of videos, always check that you can get the filler plug undone before you release the drain. That way you don't lose all your fluid with no way of putting any fresh fluid in, unless you flip the car onto its side, which clearly is not an option. So let's get this one undone first. 17mm spanner size. I've got a breaker bar on this. That is really tight, but it's moving. I can just use a normal spanner now. I can now turn my attention to the drain plug. Just for scale, this is the length of bar I'm needing to use. It's that tight. I have a bowl at the ready, and we can now undo this. I'm intrigued to see what comes out. Okay, so the colour's not too bad. And at this point I'm going to lower the vehicle down to level it off so it can drain while the vehicle is completely flat, so we get all of it out. Because although the dripping is slowing right down, it's still at an angle. I reckon more will come out when I level that off. Yep, as suspected, more is coming out. With no further drippage, it's now time to reinstall. And tighten. Now let's take a moment to work out how much oil we actually got out of this. And we can also have a look at it and see what kind of condition it's in. Well, given the age of it, that's not actually too murky. There's nothing floating in suspension. It absolutely stinks, I'll give it that. But let's see how much we got out. Right, that's half a litre there. That's another half litre. And that's about 100 millilitres, so around 1.1 of a litre. In order to refill the transmission, I'm going to use this pretty basic pump. These are available on Amazon for about £10. I've used this before on the Smart and also on the Jeep when I've performed gearbox and transfer case oil changes, etc. It's pretty easy. Now, in an ideal world, for refilling, the vehicle would be level and on a ramp, but I don't have that luxury at home. But the filler plug is on this side, the higher side, so I'm going to put more than it needs in, then lower the vehicle. It'll find its own level, any surplus will drain out, then I can put it back up in the air and retighten the fill plug. I've got way more fluid than I need, and I just want to prime this pump just to make sure that there's no residue from any other kind of oil in this pump. But I'm pretty sure I cleaned it last time when I'd finished with it. There we go, just a little bit through there. I don't want to waste too much. So we're just pumping this in. That's the first one empty. So this is our setup right here, and we just carry on pumping. I'm going to probably put about 1.4 in, and at this stage I'll withdraw this pipe, and now I can lower the vehicle. Oil will run out to the correct level at that filler plug. So now we put this under here, lower the car, and it'll find its level. There we go, it's excreting what it doesn't need. There we go, just tighten the plug, hand tight. And I'm going to tighten these to 45 Newton meters. Some people say higher, but I'm always wary. It's easy to damage gearbox casings. Let's clean it off with some brake cleaner. Job done. And now for the burning question, how much oil did it take? Well, this is all I got out when I levelled the vehicle off. 0.1 of a litre. I put 1.5 litres in, we'd only got 1.1 out, so that means in the course of 25 years we lost 0.4 of a litre. Where did it go? Well, I need to go and get cleaned up because I've been crawling around like some kind of ground-dwelling creature. And when I have, I can then take this car out for a test drive to see how the gear change has hopefully improved. I'll see you again in another video very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.